Well, first of all, I'm an Army veteran, and I am a senior. I think I am this year. Basically, I came to Clayton State to get a degree in African American Studies, and to my surprise, when I got here, you don't have one. So I've been fighting to get an African Studies degree program on this campus ever since. Now I'm enrolled. I'm a liberal arts. So I'm torn between that and history, so I may go back to history and get a degree in history. But my main objective of coming to Clayton State was to get a degree in African American Studies. And I didn't want to drive down to Georgia State because Clayton State is so close to me. And that's what we're trying to do. And one thing that I encountered, for lack of a better word, is that there are many great qualities about the school. It's unique. It's right here in a nice campus, but we need to get a more inclusive curriculum that fuels the mind, in my opinion, and that goes farther. That goes farther than the regular STEM classes that all administration all over the country are pushing for the last 10, 15, 20 years. One of my main things that I'm involved in is, of course, my school organization, which is Sankofa, African and African American Genealogy and History Club. And our main goal is to get students involved in their history, especially the personal history, because that's the genealogy part of it. And then the war history is when it comes to African and African American history. That's our goal, is to push that. And also I'm involved with some of the Veterans Affairs things on campus. I'd like to be more so, but the History Club, Veterans Affairs, and some other incidentals, anything that comes up. And I'm always trying to get groups or speakers to come on campus with my organization, school organization, and it's been very problematic because we don't have the funding to get the kind of speakers that we need to get to Clayton State. Well, to get involved, I guess I've naturally always been a person who would step out front. I guess it goes back to my junior high school and high school days. Always played sports, and normally and naturally, athletes always was the leaders on campus, more or less. And that just followed me from basically my childhood through middle school, high school. And of course, when you go in the military, you always end up in a leadership position. So it always came natural to me. And then the military was more just a discipline type thing. And then when I came to Clayton State, when I found out there was no African Studies major, then I said, we need to do something. So I talked with some students, and I said, well, we just form a club geared towards history, African and African American history. And that's what we've been pushing ever since. Mentoring is a good leadership tool. We all have that, or we should have that. I mean, you start doing that when you're a kid from your parents. Mentoring and also watching and learning from your parents. And when I got to Clayton State or other organizations, I always looked at the clubs that was on campus, student organization, and see what they were doing, and to try to mimic what some of the things they was doing, and then spread out and do some things on my own. And of course, the professors and staff at Clayton State also help. The biggest challenge I see as a leader at Clayton State right now is apathy among the student population, student body populations. It is hard to get students involved in activities on campus at Clayton State. And there's a number of reasons. I guess the main reason is that Clayton State is basically a commuter school. Most of the student population here are older, and they all have lives outside of campus, so those challenges always come first, especially if you're married and have kids. But I found other lack of the apathy also comes from the student feeling a sense of not being wanted at Clayton State. And that is sort of felt throughout the campus and throughout the student population. There's nothing here that I see that really engage students to want to really be a part of the school culture, especially the different communities that dominate the student body population right now. Well, one of the most successful things we did, we started this organization, Sankofa, last year. I think it was up and running around March or something like that. But within 2 months, we had our first speaker. Our first speaker came on campus, Dr. Charles Finch. Dr. Finch is an absolute authority on ancient Kemet, or ancient Egypt. So he came and spoke over at the Down Center, and that was just amazing to get him of his caliber. He's an author, he's a medical doctor. He helped start the school or there right after Mohawk School of Medicine. And he was still a practicing physician when we got him to come to Clayton State. So I reached out to Dr. Finch. I basically just found him I knew he lived in the area, and I found him, and we were lucky that he didn't live too far from this area, so Dr. Finch decided to come here. But Dr. Charles Finch, for you ones that don't know him, he is what I call is a warrior scholar. He has the marks to show for his fight from the last 60 years or so, working with Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Asa Hilliard at Georgia State, and many other African-centered scholars throughout the country. He is a true legend for his, not only in the medical field, but in African-American studies. So we was greatly, greatly appreciative of Dr. Charles Finch to come to Clayton State for our first speaking engagement, and he also came back to visit us again just right before the pandemic started in the spring. Well, one of the things all future leaders going to have to learn, not only at Clayton State, but in any other endeavor that they may proceed in, they will have to be patient. They're going to have a sense of tenacity. They can't let no be an answer. And you're going to have to do what the late, great John Lewis said, which is so embodied in the last few days. You have to be able to get into good trouble. That's when it comes to your professors and you come to the school administration and all other things. If you see something that you think that needs to be done, and if you get pushed back, don't take that no for an absolute no. You have to continue to fight for your fight. And the future leaders have to be able to do that. You have to be able to accept no. You have to be able to get rejections. All the students at Clayton State most of the students at Clay State are not going to be where you are in your frame of mind for as a student organization or a program on campus or any other type of endeavor. You just have to go there and try to bring them along, so to speak. So in other words, you have to be tenacious, and you have to be continuous to fight for the thing that you believe in, and that you actually have to have a passion for it.